Hello, gentlemen, and welcome to yet another episode of Gentleman Masterclass. I am your host, Marc Antomattei. If you managed to look at the last video that I had uploaded on this channel, you would see that I had bought some brand new black cap-toe Oxfords, and I had already did the unboxing inside of that previous video. Now I'm getting ready to take you around the shoe and show you the shoe inside of its entirety and give some commentary about it. And if you managed to look at the video prior to that unboxing, I had even showed off a brand new pair of black cap-toe Oxfords that I had purchased, and I was on the fence about whether I should keep them or whether I should upgrade to even the most top tier model, which is the one that I have now. And that's what I ultimately ended up doing. After I made that first video, I said, let me just go back to the store real quick and try on these other shoes that I had seen out of my peripheral vision. And if I like them, I'll upgrade. If I don't, I'll just keep what I have. But, you know, I only had 7 days, 1 week to make that decision. And I went back on the very last day to determine whether or not I was going to make the exchange. And it just so happened that I did. And I am not looking back on that. I'm very happy that I made the upgrade. Of course, it cost me $200 more, but overall, I'm satisfied, and I would have never have been happy knowing that I had settled for second best when first best was an option. So this is the first best right here inside of this box. Let's go ahead and take them out real quick. Not going to show all this stuff off again. All this documentation and stuff is... You could see that inside the previous video. It's all about the details. Just the way that they treated me from the time that I had bought these shoes and the previous shoes that I had bought. When I had told them that I wanted to upgrade and get these shoes, then I started getting treated with the VIP treatment, and I will tell you guys more about that later. But it's just all about the details, and how much you spend is how good that you are going to be treated. One, in service, and second, just with how the shoes themselves are going to treat you. One thing that I noticed right off the bat was the beauty of the box. And this is detail number 2. Each shoe has an individual bag for it. And let's go ahead and put this top right back on. And we will rest these shoes here so that you guys can take a look at them throughout the video as I speak about them. Let me tuck in the shoelaces. I don't want these seen. And something else that I should do. I had bought these specifically for these shoes. Brand new shoe trees. Let's go ahead and put these inside. Well, I guess I should take out the shoelaces and put this in first. There you go. Form fitting. Make sure that you buy specifically for your shoe size. Otherwise, it might be too small, or it could be too big to even fit inside the shoe. Mine is just right. My shoe size, 26.5. And I bought this shoe tree made from cedar wood. This is a medium size. This fits anything from 26 to a 29. One thing I really don't want to do with these shoes, even when I'm waxing, I'm not going to do it, is remove the shoelaces of these shoes. It's very bothersome to deal with shoes of this nature a little bit, because this is one of those nice pair of high quality shoes where the tongue is stitched into the shoe on one side. So it makes it really difficult to unlace and relace the shoes. Not saying that it can be done, because it obviously it can be. I'm just saying that it's very tedious once it's time to put them back in. And if you have to remove the shoelaces every single time that you are going to wax and or put some shoe cream, then it's going to be troublesome. Let's tuck those in real quick for beauty. So, ultimately, very happy that I bought these shoes. What is the difference in $200 between the prior shoes that I had that cost $300 versus these ones that cost $500? Right off the bat, I notice that the leather quality is so much more premium than it was before. Not to say that it wasn't good leather before, but it just looks even better now. This stitching here inside the cap toe in the front of the shoe is so much better. It's more micro, as is the stitching all around the shoe everywhere. And here, it's difficult to explain, but it was like it was very hard in a sense before. Now, this cap toe is only made and is differentiated from this stitching, whereas on the previous shoe, it was almost like a whole piece of leather that was here before. Let me show you my brown shoes real quick, and maybe you guys can see what it is that I'm talking about. This is my brown Oxfords. Of course, it has the stitching here and the separation from the cap toe to the vamp, but it's almost as if this is a whole another piece of leather that is just attached to this part of the leather to the vamp. It's like as almost if the whole shoe is separated into different pieces of leather, right? And this is separated from the vamp. Whereas on here, it's all just one piece of leather, and the separation is just made just from the stitching only. It's not that it's a separate piece of leather as it is on here. I guess that's what I wanted to say. So, like I said, first difference that I noticed was the quality of leather, and then I noticed the change in the cap toe, which was also different. I noticed the stitching on the tongue to the rest of the shoe to keep it up. Anything else? Back here inside the back, the center seam. The other shoe had a center seam. Is just here. It's just so much better and more well done. The other difference, the previous shoes had a rubber sole, where that sole was made for comfort. It was made for grip, and you're going to walk and you're not going to be slipping around all over the place, slipping and sliding, so to speak. But this one you will slide a little bit, as this is brand new, and this is not a rubber sole. This is completely leather, and they did a very fine job with this. This is a Goodyear welted shoe, and the stitching that you usually find here on the bottom, it has been covered very well. I'm sure that there is stitching here, but they did such a fine job of pulling the leather over that stitching so that it is no show. It's just completely smooth, and the appearance is very nice. You got this embossing of the brand and the logo of this brand of shoe here that's embossed inside the leather. You got the name of the shoe here as well, the Master Regal. By the way, if I did not mention it before, the brand of the shoe is called Regal. They are the shoe maker, and this is their topmost tier shoe, most expensive shoe. It's called the Master. So ultimately, they call the whole shoe the Master Regal, and it has its own logo. Here, it says manufactured by Goodyear, welted in Morioka. And then here you just have like a little metal piece that says the Master Regal that is just kind of embossed here inside of the mid part of the sole. I like that this is painted red. It makes the shoe that much more beautiful. The heel, to keep you from slipping around, it has a rubberized, this is called a dovetail heel, whereas there's this little shape that is cut out that looks like a dovetail, and it's put in the most back part of the shoe to keep you from slipping and sliding every time you plant your heels on the ground when you walk. So that's there for that reason. And I heard Kirby Allison say on his channel that it's for shock absorption, but I believe more or less it's just to keep you from sliding around. And it's put there on that rubber for that purpose. But the way that it's done with this dovetail design implanted inside of this rubber heel, it makes it look that much more beautiful. So all around, it's a beautiful shoe. The stitching is nicely done. I was complaining. I wasn't necessarily complaining, but I was saying that on the previous shoe, that it depends on how much more money you pay and how good the Goodyear welt stitching is going to be. The more money you pay, the stitching is going to be more micro and smaller, and it's going to be more well hidden. Is this shoe, it looks like it might or may not be 360 degrees of Goodyear welted stitching. It was 360 degrees going all the way around on the previous shoe, but you could clearly see that it was going all the way around just upon appearance. Whereas here, once you make it to the heel portion of the shoe, you cannot see any more stitching inside of this part. And there is no gap between the back of the heel and the heel base. There is no gap or no separation there where that was there inside the previous shoe. I think that's all that I wanted to say about this. Inside of the shoe is beautiful as well. Let me take this out one last time. You have leather on the insoles as well as you have the Regal name and the branding of the shoe. Again, yes, and the leather insole is going all the way through. So very nice quality overall, made in Japan shoes. This is one of the best that I've ever seen in Japan. Usually, the Japanese shoe, the look is very beautiful, but the comfort is, most of the time, it's not there. And you will be struggling to try to find a pair of shoes that fit you well and are comfortable as well as look beautiful. They got the look down. I can admit to that, but the comfort level has not always been there. And let me just say that the comfort level with these is absolutely supreme. I thought that even though the other shoes was $200 less and they were a little bit cheaper, I thought because they had the rubber sole on the bottom and they had the Ortholite insoles, you know, you think inside of your mind that the whole shoe is made for comfort, that with these being more expensive, they might be like the same comfort level or a little bit less in quality. These are actually a lot more comfortable than those, even though those have the rubber soles and the Ortholite insoles, which are extra light. Very happy with my purchase. I won't be returning these, and I'm looking forward to spending about the next 20 to 30 years keeping these things well maintained. So I think that's all that I wanted to say about this shoe inside of this video. Stay tuned, whereas inside the next video, I'm going to be shining these up for the first time and taking you guys through the process of how to do that, how to maintain your shoes. Yeah, looking forward to having fun with you guys. If you enjoyed this video and if you like my previous content, make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you would like to see or like to know about Oxford shoes. I pretty much know everything that there is to know about the Oxford shoes. So if there's a specific question that you have for me, leave it down inside the comment section and I will get to you as soon as possible to answer that. And yeah, that's it. Oh, and P.S., just one more thing, something that I would like to show you that I have here inside of my wallet. When I was mentioning at the beginning of the video that they gave me the VIP treatment, they really did. The moment that I bought the shoes, they said, we are going to shine the shoe for you, and we are going to give it pre-treatment is the terminology that they used. And I said, no, it's okay, I can do it myself. And he said, no, this is service. You don't have to pay for it. We are going to do this specifically for you. And I said, well, listen, as long as it's service, I can't argue with that. Please go ahead and do to it what you need to. So they gave it some pre-treatment with some leather lotion. And I waited patiently as they did that. And I was very happy for them to do that. And then as one guy was shining my shoe, I guess the manager of the store had come up to me and he had given me the VIP card. It has the Master Regal logo on the front of the card, as well as the matching colors of the heel and of the box. And on this opposite side of the card, it says that this is a care service card. Now what this is truly the VIP card. It says, of course, in Japanese, but I'm going to translate it. It says, from the date of purchase, you have 2 years. You are able to come back to this specific store that you bought it from the Regal shop in Ginza, Tokyo. And we are going to give your shoe a service treatment up to 10 times within the span of 2 years. But it has to be used up within 2 years. So I have until September of 2023 to make use of these 10 separate shines and treatments. So I'm looking forward to using this card. I have not used it yet. The first time when you bought the shoe, that was free service. And then on top of that, you get 10 more times that they are going to take care of you. So every time that I go to Ginza, which is roughly about once every 2 months, I will have them take care of that for me. And also one more thing that I almost forgot. These ones right here is just something cheap that you can get around town for you being inside the United States and elsewhere inside of the world. You could go ahead and purchase this on the internet or from a shoe shop. These are called heel plates. I need to find my nails for these, obviously, but you put these heel plates on the back of the heel of your shoe to keep them from wearing as fast so that you don't have to replace the heel as much. I have those on my brown shoes. Let me show you real quick. I put them here and I haven't really changed them out yet, but when I need to, I just take a little hammer and I'll take the back side and I'll peel this up along with the nails, and then I will just replace it with a fresh heel tap. But almost no wear on the bottom of this shoe, pretty much. And I've been wearing these for about the past year or the past 2 years, I believe. So I'm going to put them here on the back of these shoes. So it's going to be like double protection. But I think I'm going to do that inside the next video. But I just wanted to introduce those to you inside of this one. All right. This time for real, I really mean goodbye. So salute to you wherever you may be out in the world. And as always, gentlemen, you guys know what to do. Keep it classy. Hello, gentlemen. Marc Antomattei here for Gentleman Masterclass. I'm here to let you guys know the good news that from this point forward, we are going to be launching a style consultancy. Not to be confused with an image consultancy. We are purely dedicated to making sure that you look your best each and every time that you step out of the house. With our different courses for different categories, you will be able to partake in a session that is going to teach you about the different aspects of style to make sure that you are at the top of your element. The first category is purely about men's dress shoes. For the price of $40 US, you will get a one-on-one video conference call for the duration of minimum 1 hour to make sure that you know every single aspect and facet of what goes into making sure that you purchase the very best men's shoe that you possibly can for the money. Everything that you need to know about that one particular category will be taught within that one single session. So essentially, it's a one-time fee to learn information that's going to last you a lifetime. So come on over and book a session while spaces are available now. Write to me at gentlemanmasterclass@gmail.com. Anyways, it looks like our time is up for now, but I will be seeing you guys soon. Salute to you wherever you may be out in the world. And as always, gentlemen, you guys know what to do. Keep it classy.